Warning, high winds approaching, water level rising, temperature increasing, voltage overloading.
Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and a reviewer who should have retired by now. You have been warned. This is Random Review.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel, and it is the final day of looking at the individual members of the Combiner Wars Constructicons. We are talking about Bonecrusher today. I figured let's we started on the payloader. Let's end off on the bulldozer. How about that? I thought that was fair, at least. So Bonecrusher, at least visually, at least in vehicle mode visually, has always been my least favorite Constructicon because he's just solid green. You know, everyone else shows a bit of their purple some way or another. But yeah, just stark green all the way around. And here's the thing, I have an obsession with the color green. That just is always been my thing since I was just a kid. So you would think all green would be great, but I want to see Constructicon. And Constructicon to me means green and purple together. And I want that green broken up a little bit so it's not overwhelming, and because it just kind of starts flushing out the color, the detail that's been done up in this toy. I always wonder, like, why isn't this inside painted purple at the very least? That wouldn't hurt the overall look. That would be fine. And actually in Devastator, that might actually make him more symmetrical looking. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so Bulldozer. And not a bad one, I will admit. While I would prefer a little bit of more splash of color going on here, I do appreciate what it is doing. The color you do get added in is a little bit of silver across the front, as well as these plates on the sides being painted in silver, and of course the windows that have been painted in the purple. Decepticon logo right there in the scoop, and that's about it. Deco wise, that's really all he's got going on, at least what's supposed to be showing in this vehicle mode. I will give him credit. The scoop does raise and lower, so it's got a little bit of function to it. I can extend it out too if I really wanted to do that. So it does have play function as a bulldozer. Credit there. Like the others, you get one big drum on the bottom for rolling, and then these tiny little wheels. So he can technically roll, not on glass. Sorry, so the last time I'm going to point it out, because I don't have to worry about Devastator rolling on glass, do I? In a clever bit of engineering, some of his transformation hinges have been hidden as the exhaust pipes of the vehicle mode. That's actually really, really clever. I like that. Also, we're seeing a return of that heavy machinery look on this one. He does have some extra panels sculpted in, more of the work ladders here, but what I really like is all the detail on the sides of the caterpillar. The caterpillar itself, very well sculpted, very sharp and detailed paneling, segmented, very nice. But all the wheels and gears inside are individually sculpted. It's really, really cool to see. So yeah, back windows could have been painted, saying. So yeah, visually on the dull side, but it's also not really doing anything wrong as a bulldozer. So let's see what he does when we transform him. And honestly, he's got a little bit going on there. So let's first unpeg his legs. I'm going to go ahead and just transform those now. We're going to hinge them down and hinge the hips out at the same time. You'll see those tabs that are going to connect to create the actual pelvis. If I can get everything to line up correctly. Yes. It's a little bit annoying when I have these big swinging legs in the way. I'm sure you can relate. Okay, that out of the way. Shove it around just to line up a little bit better. The legs transform very much like Scavenger. You will pull down in order to create the knees. You will fold up the ends of the treads in order to create the feet. Just like so. Now, Interesting part now comes from transforming the torso. I'm going to get the scoop out of the way. And I'm going to start by folding this back because we're going to need that out of the way. It's a very tight hinge on mine. Undo that and fold that down. This part is going to open up like so, fold all the way out. I'm going to go ahead and extend those out because that is forming our arms. We go down here now. I'm going to give you a view from this side as I roll up the head. And now we are going to take this whole piece, make sure this part's straight down, and we are going to double hinge it and just fold it into place like so to create the look of the robot mode. And then just make sure double fold the chest, get that in the right spots. And that's going to be Bonecrusher in the robot mode. So yeah, like they actually put some effort. Like the arms of Devastator got some kind of interesting transformation schemes. That's kind of cool, you know, and I do like that they've gone out of their way to do that because, you know, these guys do have a lot of engineering in them to do the whole combining thing. So to actually put in the work to make an interesting transformation, that goes a long way. You know, I like seeing that. Now, Bonecrusher himself, I'm still not visually sold on. He is very predominantly green. The only purple you are going to find is a little bit of paint dotted in the center of his chest as well as his fists. Beyond that, he looks a little bit out of place with his team as they are rocking that signature purple color, and he's just kind of doing his own thing. He's not a fan of purple. He really prefers his silver, which is taking up the majority of his chest as well as the arms, both on the front and on the side, actually. I will give him that. Like, I do like that it's standing out a little bit different from the other Constructicons. I'm not necessarily sure it's in a good way, though. Different is also that big block chest. I feel like it's a little bit too big and boxy. Again, that's the Bonecrusher aesthetic because his chest has always been the scoop. And I do think that's a clever use of the scoop as far as how to put all these vehicle mode parts onto a robot. It might not be the best looking, however. It does just kind of give him like a much more simplistic look compared to some of the others. And the fact that he's just solid green all the way through his body is not helping that. So he does come off a little bit more basic than the rest. I do like how much silver's gone into the chest. The extra red details are nice too. And, you know, they've kept that same, you know, bright silver for everything. So he does look fine. But visually, again, not my favorite of the team. So that's about the only thing to him. Now, he does keep it fairly clean. He's got this little piece on the back. Can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. And then, you know, he's got that piece hanging down that's going to be part of Devastator's forearm. So we just have to let that be for a while. Other than that, it's not too bad. It's still fairly clean in design. And with that, it's time for the articulation rundown. You do have a ball joint that has a little bit of up and down, but left and right, of course, is the butter zone for those kind of joints. Shoulders are ball jointed, lots of motion in there. You can see how hollow they are. You see how hollow the forearm is. We all know, hollow, hollow, hollow. Double jointed elbows, the first one on this team. So for everyone who had those broken little elbows, 3 of you have terrible elbows, 1 of you has no elbows, and then there is Bonecrusher doing literally all the lifting for you. Nothing beyond that in the elbow, but hey, it's nice. It's ball jointed in one side, so you can rotate the forearm. Again, nothing in the waist. Ball joints in the hips. Hollow legs. Yes, I know. Keep in mind, because this is a big Titan that all had to be sold in one box, and because some of those upper parts needed to be as light as possible so that the lower parts could hold up all of their weight, all the hollowed out parts to these guys need to be given a little bit of an excuse. They need to be excused just a little bit because, yes, there is purpose for it. It's not just making the toy cheaper. It is functionally better for the combiner. But that said, you do have a ball joint for the knee, so that rotates as well as bend, almost 90 degrees there. You have the ankle tilt again. So he does have about the same level of articulation as everybody else in the team, which is kind of cool to see. Now, I need a weapon to pose this guy off with. What haven't I used? I used the wing. I used just about everything, right? Here, I gave Scrapper one of the blade wings. Let's just finish it off and give him the other one. There we go. Still weird to see Constructicons using melee weapons, but that's the thing. You are going to hit one flaw to this guy is that, at least on mine, that pelvis really does not like to stay connected or hooked together. So, yeah, that comes apart and starts making the articulation a little bit sloppy. So that's a downside to him individually, but beyond that, yeah, he's doing his job. Like, visually, I don't think the most engaging of the Constructicons, but I will give him credit. Interesting transformation, even though he has no reason to have it. And with that, that's all 6 of your Combiner War Constructicons. So, tune in tomorrow. It'll be a much longer video because we will be looking at the transformation for Devastator. So join me then as we wrap up this look at a classic figure that a lot of us like to make fun of for way too long.